weren't paying attention before, this is what the WNBA is all about. A sea of fans in packed arenas, the highest attendance for games in over a quarter century. The 2024 season is averaging 1.24 million viewers per game, up a staggering 169% from last year. Hotshots taking the sports world by storm. From the stars of the New York Liberty to rookie Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever and Angel Reese with the Chicago Sky and the Las Vegas Aces, Asia Wilson. Their moves on the court fueling interest as the WNBA, or simply the W, continues to surge.
This is more exciting than NBA.
Energy is way better.
It's just as competitive as the men's side, just as competitive as the NBA.
It's a movement, it's a momentum, and I think everyone should be getting on board because it's going to continue to get bigger and bigger.
It's All-Star Weekend in Phoenix. Big names in the WNBA are up against and offering a rare challenge to the perennial gold medal winning U.S. Olympic team.
It's cool for us to share this experience together. There's so many young stars. I think it's going to continue to grow forward.
I remember being able to watch the WNBA when I was younger and not being able to see sometimes the games or finding it hard to see the games. But I'm excited for the league and where we're going, and it's a great moment for all of us.
While the whole league is flying high, in Brooklyn, one team is dominant.
We gonna win! Championship!
We're going behind the scenes here at Barclays with one of the league's top teams, New York Liberty.
Halfway through the season, the Liberty perched atop the Eastern Conference with 21 wins and 4 losses.
Yeah, I mean, we're feeling really good. It's a good start to the season, obviously a good foundation to build upon.
Their lineup is stacked. WNBA All-Star Jonquel Jones, the reigning MVP Breanna Stewart, and Sabrina Ionescu, who broke Steph Curry's All-Star three-point contest record last year. We were courtside for practice.
I think what's made our league so popular is just the product, you know, the way that we play on the court, continuing to advance our game no matter what, and just being the best we can be.
But when you come into New York, you know, you're gonna hear a lot of trash talking, a lot of people that are just really enthused to be there. I think you feel that every time you come into this gym.
The more that we've been able to play together, you know, the better production has been on the court. So it's been great to kind of have that second year together this year and playing our best basketball. Media coverage has been great. Fan attendance has been huge.
So it's his birthday gift, his first game ever, so he's definitely excited. He said, he told us yesterday the girls play better than the boys.
And I think she sees herself as a, future WNBA player. It's a great experience to see other women who have made it this far.
The nearly 18,000 seat venue filled to the brim.
11 out of 12 of our games at home have been sellouts thus far. Double-digit increases in ticket sales. Corporate brands who are calling us and wanting to lock arms and collaborate and activate and figure out ways to bring their brand in association with our brand has increased tremendously as well.
The Liberty's biggest brand ambassador, Ellie, the larger-than-life mascot, often stealing the show.
We got to talk about the elephant in the room, Ellie. Did you realize that she was going to resonate with the city in this way?
Ellie has taken on a popularity that I couldn't have imagined.
Freaking out!
I'm super proud to say we created a diva.
Do you mind showing me some of your dance moves?
Needless to say, I don't quite have what it takes to keep up with Ellie.
I need some work. I think I need some work.
In the first game for the women's NBA.
Since its debut in 1997, the WNBA has yielded some of America's most talented and decorated athletes, like Lisa Leslie, Sue Bird, and Diana Taurasi. But unlike soccer, national interest in women's basketball lagged behind.
There was a ton of excitement about the league in those days because it was new and people were interested to see what women's basketball was going to look like. It started with 8 teams, and at one point it ballooned up to 16 teams and then down to 14 and down to 12.
ESPN analyst Rebecca Lobo was a WNBA All-Star and one of the league's inaugural players.
Over the course of the last 5 years, you could feel the popularity of the league growing. The competition on the court was amazing. But then we had the tsunami that is Caitlin Clark, and that is this rookie class that has really elevated the league this season to heights that we haven't seen since the very beginning.
Rookies Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever and Angel Reese of the Chicago Sky are at the center of the W's rapid rise.
The Indiana Fever select Caitlin Clark, University of Iowa.
Their draft into the league, breaking the all-time viewing record, averaging 2.4 million views. For reference, the second most watched WNBA draft averaged just over 600,000 views.
It felt like there were a lot more recognizable stars in the women's college game than there were in the men's college game. And so much of that, of course, is fueled by Caitlin Clark. She plays the game differently than any woman we have ever seen. And I think that's just energized a fan base that maybe hadn't paid as close attention to the women's game in the past.
So much has been made out of the rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Is it good for the sport?
I think the rivalry is incredible for the sport. And, you know, some have likened it to Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. People are interested in watching these two young women play. They are in particular interested when these two women play against one another.
The Fever Sky game in June was the W's most viewed in 23 years, with 2.3 million tuning in. Even though the viewership is catching up, the pay is not. Men make more money in basketball than women.
People have to understand that it was just the reality of the economics of the league. You know, it's not like the league over the course of the past 3 decades has been making money hand over fist and putting it in their pockets and keeping the women at a low salary. I think they have been relatively fair in what they've been able to pay the women for a 5-month season.
Many were surprised to learn this year's #1 draft pick is pocketing just $76,000 for her first season. The top salary in the league, just over $250,000 a year. A stark contrast to the NBA, where larger profits provide starting salaries that often reach the multi-millions.
As the league becomes more and more popular, do you think that gap can start to close?
Certainly with the next collective bargaining agreement, you're going to see a huge increase in salaries because there's been a huge increase in the new TV deal, and that's where so much of the money comes.
The WNBA has reached a preliminary media deal with NBC, Amazon, and Disney, the parent company of ABC, worth about $2.2 billion over 11 years. This new package, 6 times bigger than its previous deal.
So I'm really eager next year to find out where the salaries are going to be, because they will be much different than where they are now. One thing that's really encouraging though is that the sponsorship dollars have grown tremendously.
You've seen the spike, you've seen the attendance, the numbers, everything has grown these past few years, but we're not satisfied. You know, we want to continue to be better. Just being appreciated for who we are and what we do as W players.
Our thanks to Ashin. You can watch the WNBA All-Star Game right here on ABC at 8:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow night.